lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too, when he was younger.
Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
And, but do I regret it? For the fact that he wants to be called Cinco.
Right.
I know that he probably has some, something with it. I'm like, hey, you know what, though? Do what you want, man.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
According to a man, Usher, he's saying that Usher gave him herpes and wants Usher to turn over his medical records.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
Let me tell you something, girl. The tea is delicious and the streets are bustling. Really hot Usher, the smooth as silk himself, has at last spoken out about the Diddy issue in jail. You know how this is going to become nasty soon. Usher has been being quiet lately, but that is changing now that he is pouring tea. You really don't want to miss this, I promise. The reason this is such a huge deal is because Usher isn't just any old random star. If you understand what I mean, honey, he's been in this business for decades and he knows where all the dead are buried. We're not just talking about rumors. We may be appending the whole entertainment sector. You haven't seen anything yet, honey, so you know what's going on behind the scenes. What does Usher have to say about Diddy, and why are the streets predicting an explosive outcome? Are you prepared? This, since you don't seem to be.
That's this lawsuit, right? Lil Ron, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they described him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know, and a lot of more people know, didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy camp?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows, the white guy with the curly hair, what's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Okay, everything let us turn back time a little. Partly because Usher and Diddy's problem isn't new. It dates back a long, long time. We're talking about a relationship that dates back farther than some of you who are viewing this video may be. I'll tell you what's really important, girl. It goes far deeper than that. Imagine this. It's the 1990s, and tiny Usher Raymond is a sweet-faced adolescent with big dreams who, Diddy himself, swoops in like a music industry fairy godfather. Even back then, there were rumors in the streets that Diddy recognized something unique in the little child, and honey, he wasn't mistaken. Diddy mentored Usher, teaching him the ins and outs of the business. We're talking studio sessions, dance rehearsals, the whole 9 yards. Usher was studying from one of the greatest names in the field, taking everything up like a sponge, yet it wasn't all sunshine and roses. You know how Diddy can be, a stickler for detail, never stopping striving for more. Some of you may be wondering whether Diddy really signed Usher, but that's not how it works. The biscuit broke apart, yet it wasn't twisted. Usher's early career was covered with fingerprints from Diddy, and he felt like that cool uncle who consistently crosses paths throughout the years at family get-togethers, offering counsel and connections. Pats recall the first half of the Fire collaboration, I Need a Girl, where Usher contributed his silky voices to Diddy's, and it wasn't a one-time occurrence. They have since shared stages, parted ways, and visited each other. Other social circles over several years.
A lot of people believed that, Usher was groomed by Diddy.
He wasn't only groomed by Diddy, he was groomed by L.A. Reid, the rest of them too, man. Because they knew what happened. Then they came out and brought him back, and all of a sudden, he's getting all the great tracks. He's getting all the songs. They making him into this star, even though he may have been abused.
They seem to be pretty good friends.
Well, they probably is.
I mean, they did a lot of work together, man, throughout their whole career. Puff was...
Bruh.
Early in his career, Puff and Usher were working together. When Usher was just a kid, all the way up. I mean, I think there's videos from not too long ago when they were together, and Puff is making jokes about how they used to wrestle for the Frosted Flakes in the morning, and
yeah, I bet they did. Somebody frosted somebody frosted somebody flakes. Without the milk.
What do you think it is that keeps Usher from coming out or saying anything?
Because, yo, dog, it's you got to realize in that industry, a lot of people are stand back and say, well, it happened to me. That's how some of them people pay their dues. And the people who don't go down like that don't be as great as the Ushers, as the Diddys. It's a way of passage to certain people in the entertainment business.
With all these people coming out against Diddy, do you think more people are gonna come out?
It's a lot of people that, you gotta realize is that everybody think, oh, everybody's coming out now. It's a lot of people that wanted to bring stuff out long time ago, but the lawyers wouldn't take it. The lawyers wouldn't deal with it. Cassie opened up a floodgate for lawyers to look at people's cases now and say, yeah, we might could get some money out of that. We might could do that. Yeah, he did abuse you. Nobody really cared at first. But now they see that a lot of this stuff may have some truth to it and the people can be paid for it. They coming out.
I've seen that you've actually talked to some victims behind the scenes.
Yep.
I mean, without naming any names, what all can you tell me about that?
Well, I don't want to talk about what they confided in me, but it's a lot of stuff that has been going on, and like there's tapes that are running around with women. There's tape that is running around with women, and they want to get a hold of those tapes so they could bring them, to the lawyers. And those tapes do exist, but it's going to be hard for them to get because a lot of people don't want them to know that they was in those tapes and they was a part of it. But it is what it is.
Speaking of tapes, Little Rod says he has a ton of video footage and that Diddy had him following him with the camera, doing all types of these illegal activities. Was there cameras around a lot back in the day?
Nah. Back in the day, they didn't do that. They didn't even allow people to take pictures, hardly. So we didn't have those cameras like that. There was a few cameramen, Alex and this Spanish dude, they was allowed to take certain pictures, but only when you told, they asked you to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, there's footage. There's footage. I have a tape of the party that Diddy gave after Shine was convicted.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Diddy threw a party for him beating his case, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything on there, or it's just a normal party?
Just a normal party.
I mean, was this just a normal party, or was this like a Diddy party?
It's a normal party. It's a normal Diddy party. Because you got to realize he was normal back then. He was the normal Diddy back then. Now he Brother Love.
Okay, well, I guess there was a situation with Diddy and a rapper, and they were in a hotel room for hours.
Who's that?
That you kind of talked about. I believe it was Ja Rule.
No, bro. No. Stop it. Yo, Cam. Diddy had Sarah and Sarah's girlfriend, right? He was trying to use them to go at Ja Rule so Ja Rule could go at Jay-Z. He was trying to set Ja up and try to have those girls, throw themselves on Ja Rule in the hotel room, and they was all in the room together. When I got into an altercation with a guy who tried to get in the room, Puff and Ja Rule ran out. And when they ran out, because of the commotion, they was grabbing towels because they was naked when they came out. So he was in there, they both was in there with women.
Okay, I see. I kind of seen you touch on this a little bit, but there was, with the whole Wolf and BMF situation.
Well,
Is there anything you could talk about with that?
yeah, I'll talk about that. Wolf wanted to move on and started a club. Him and a guy, Mike Sally, was going to invest in this club. It was 321.
Here is when everything gets juicy. Through their years of friendship and cooperation, Diddy's world has opened up to Usher and, child, you are aware that life isn't always pleasant. The celebrations, the turmoil, the chaos behind the scenes, Usher saw everything. So, Usher's decision to speak out against Diddy is more significant than simply a random celebrity casting disparaging remarks. We are discussing about somebody who has experienced life alongside Diddy and is well-versed in the truth. The positive, negative, and not to mention that the ugly Ushers had his own reputation to consider. The ugly Ushers had the inside word on everything. He's just been in the game for a minute and has already established his own empire, so why is he staying silent about the changes in the streets? You have to wonder what's been going on with Usher throughout the years, since there seems to be more to this narrative than meets the eye. That's getting him to speak now because, as you might imagine in this business, loyalty is crucial if Usher wants to break the code of silence. There must be a major development occurring, and by major I mean industry-shattering, tea spilling. Large, so are you prepared to hear what others have to say? I assure you that this isn't just. We're going to have a serious conversation that might alter the way we perceive things. It will be about music and past memories. Diddy, hang on to your wigs for all eternity because this tea is about to become very hot.
In this lawsuit, this girl that was 17 at the time, she say that, I guess her and Diddy was having relations and he couldn't get off. So he was complaining to her one time that, he couldn't get off, and for him to get off, she had to pinch his nipples real hard for him to get off. I mean, yeah, man, this lawsuit is wild, man.
She should have had on white polish, fingernail polish. No, man, we shouldn't be laughing about that, man, because she is a victim. You know what I'm saying? She is a victim, man, and if this is her victim story, we got to be more, I think, more compassionate. She was 17 years old at the time. She was fascinated by that whole thing, getting on a G4, G5 jet, you understand? And what was her parents, man? What was her daddy, her mama? They didn't miss their child? She didn't come home that night? I don't know, man. I can't fathom the whole idea, man. But it's crazy.
When you hear about this stuff, right, like the 17-year-old girl saying that, Diddy, he couldn't get off unless she pinched his nipples real hard, and you got Cassie saying that, he'll make her look up BBCs and he like to masturbate while she get bathed by BBC. You not surprised when you hear about this stuff, right?
Bruh, I knew about the butt plug fetishes because I saw that with my own eyes. I knew about him and Kim being swingers with other people, whether it was another male or another woman or a male and a woman together. I saw that with my own eyes. You got to realize is that after 2005, I didn't see anything that Puff was doing or what he didn't do. Puff had got addicted to opioid. And being addicted to those things bring other drugs on. I seen Puff smoke a cigarette. I never saw him smoke a cigarette. He was on the beach smoking a cigarette on YouTube. Then I seen him, smoking weed and drinking. I was like, that ain't the Puff I know. Drinking like he was and doing all like that. That ain't the Puff that I knew. You understand what I'm saying? You got to realize he had a certain respect around me because I was his OG from the same game. You understand? And he knew I was law enforcement. He knew I didn't play certain things. So he ain't gonna do what he do around other people in front of me, because he know I'm gonna check him on that. Bro, what you trying to do? So to say that what he's being known for with Cassie, I can only equate to some of the things that I seen him and Kim go through. You understand what I'm saying? So people get mad, you know, but it is what it is. I can only equate his actions like that.
Crazy, man. So all this stuff about him having fetishes is true.
Oh, no doubt. Especially if he getting butt plugs in different flavors.
But speaking of butt plugs, right? I remember some years ago, Cameron, he did an interview and he told a story about how he went to Diddy house with mates.
Yeah.
And he found the dildo in the sink.
I think that was crazy. I think that was out of, and then May said that was Puffs. I think he said May said that was Puffs, but Mace was in the bathroom with it. I don't know what that was all about, man, but that was real weird to me. That was crazy.
Crazy, man. But before we get off of that, right, I remember you told me a while ago that, you know, Mace, he used to live with Diddy, and he know a lot of stuff about Diddy that a lot of people don't know.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too.
You may think you're ready, but you're not ready for this tea, girl. The Diddy controversy is poised to explode everywhere because it has been simmering longer than your grandmother's Sunday coffee. What's causing everyone to become tense isn't just a little scandal, sweetheart. We're talking about grave accusations. It made the whole business shake and made many remark, Diddy has been up to no good for years, miss. In addition to the typical music shenanigans, we're talking about some dark things that's making people grab for their phones and clutch their pearls. You already know how it goes. One moment, everything is peaceful, and the next, spill the teeth. The media has gone crazy, with every news outlet, gossip blog, and YouTube channel acting as if someone had lighted a match in a pyrotechnics factory. Diddy this and Diddy that are flooding Twitter accounts with more than 10 followers, making it seem like mealtime at. The main meal is the Zoo and Diddy, but here's the really shocking part. It's not just the typical suspects talking nonstop. Nah, celebrities are leaking their no-comment codes left and right more quickly than you can say PR disaster. Staying by their man and bragging about how Diddy has always treated them well, while some are cold and dumping him like if he's radioactive. You know that people like 50 Cent never pass up the opportunity to shake things up, throwing shade left in. At that moment, other people who used to work with Diddy start recalling fascinating things. Narratives, everyone seems to have something to say and to be trying to be heard.
The situation is that, bruh, we already won. This was some spiritual that Pop, the spirit of Pop, the spirit of Big, the spirit of Miss Jones, the spirit of Wolf, all the people that he has done wrong, you know, so Black, all the people that he has done wrong, bruh, is coming to light. We already won this spiritual. What we going through right now with these trials and everybody, you know, with this financial situation and everything like that, all that is superficial. That's the physical part of it. The spiritual part of it was won because Big, Pac, Wolf Mother, all the people that he did wrong, bruh, you understand? They already won the battle where we were supposed to win it at. So now we just going through the physical part of it, man. And I want that girl to know, man, that she ain't gotta fear no man. She ain't gotta fear him, nobody else, man. Whenever she needs, you understand? Whenever she needs somebody to travel, to go with her, to make sure she all right, you know, I'm a phone call away, man. I'm a phone call away. And you know, go ahead with your questioning, man. I just had to get that out, man, because that girl touched a lot of people, man, because all she wanted to do was write music, make music, and show her talent and her love to the people, man. And then she got to feel this way, be fearful and scared of her life and stuff like that. Ma, I ain't scared of no man. You understand? I ain't scared of no man. Nobody that got to put their pants on the same way I do. Not at all.
Additionally, let's not even talk about social media. It's a battleground where there are teams like Andy Diddy and Diddy, as well as a group of people in the center enjoying a bucket of popcorn as they watch the drama play out. The memes girl is savage. People are searching through previous interviews and breaking down every word Diddy has ever uttered, kind of like a hip-hop version of CSI, but this is what has folks really talking. The quiet from some corners. Everyone in the business is aware of this. Since everyone is linked and has information on everyone else, you have to ask why certain well-known figures are keeping silent. What they know that we don't know about all of this turmoil and commotion, and how is Diddy managing to seem cool or at least try? Do what you can bet your bottom dollar that he's perspiring behind those high-end shades, because once things get going, they won't stop. Usher enters the picture at this point since he has likely been watching everything happen and has no idea where it will end. Clenching his teeth and reflecting on all he has seen during the years, he is now prepared to lend his voice to the well, but what will he say? Is he going to state that he's on Team Diddy or Team Spill the Tea? Because that's what everyone wants to know. In this game, he's definitely not just any random player. Rather, he has intimate knowledge of what goes on behind the scenes. The way things are going, we could either blow this entire thing out of proportion or put it to bed.
One thing I did see in this lawsuit, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy's son Justin was helping Diddy, get underage girls. And I guess he was bringing them to parties. You know anything about that?
I think Justin is the boy that could do it, if anybody. Him or either Quincy. You understand? Justin is a pretty boy. You understand? He look young. He around that age, what he about 25, 26 years old? So I don't know about underage, but it's a possibility, because those girls 16, 15 years old, they gonna like that light skin, that curly hair. You understand? Man, listen here. We got girls that's what you call them, video vixens. And I ain't gonna mention no names because I don't want to hear it. They say they were sneaking into parties at 15 and 16 years old. So why you think 15 and 16-year-olds ain't sneaking in the Diddy party? So Lil Rod, if he having conversations with him, he may say, yo, how old are you, or something like that. Somebody say, I'm like 16, I'm 15. Somebody had to tell him their age for him to know. Who you came here with? I came here with Justin. So what did that say?
Yeah, that's a good point. And looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy promised him a Grammy if he participated in homosexual activity.
I read that, man. You understand? And what kind of power do you have when you can promise somebody a Grammy award? Who are you doing something with, or who do you know that can promise? Beyonce did Beyonce get a Grammy for anything? Did she get a Grammy for an album or anything like that? Has she got a Grammy? She got Grammys before, right?
Yeah, she got Grammys, but she never got one for Album of the Year, though.
Right. So if she never got a Grammy for Album of the Year, and Diddy could promise a producer, if he's in a homosexual act, that he could give him a Grammy, what kind of power, who he doing, or what he know that he could get that done? That's some kind of spooky shit, bruh. No disrespect. That's real spooky. If he could promise somebody. And good thing the kid didn't believe him, because if the kid would believe him, he might have got his booty hole tore up. So my whole thing about it is, listen here, man. He has to have some real power, but he showed us his power. Remember at the BET Awards? Remember when they was trying to go to commercial? And he said, nah, we not go. Whoever done that, bruh? Whoever stopped the people from going to commercial? Nobody ever did that but Diddy, bruh. So he had some kind of power at one time. We don't know if he still got that power, but at the BET Awards, when they wanted to go to commercial, he did not allow them to go to commercial. So evidently, he knows somebody, or he doing somebody, or somebody doing him, allegedly.
You talking about when he was giving that speech at the BET Awards for the Lifetime Achievement Award?
When he gave his speech, he just kept going, bro. He just kept going and wouldn't stop. And he said, it don't matter how much it costs. We're gonna keep going. And they wouldn't even go to commercial. That's never happened before, bro. Never.
And me looking at this lawsuit, he also alleges that Diddy forced him to watch a video of Stevie J having sex with a man.
Who, little Stevie? Huh? Who, Stevie? What Johnson used to call him, Stevie? Yo, I read that, man. I don't know if you know this, but then maybe they have a tape that we didn't see because the pictures was a little vague. There was an exotic worker came out and said that was him and not Stevie J. But in order for them to put that in there, they must have clearly thought it was Stevie J or think it's Stevie J. But you got to get this, Art. Check this out. He knew that this kid admired Stevie J and loved the work Stevie J had done in the industry in the past. This kid looked up to Stevie J. Now, what if Puff told him that was Stevie J in the tape? And the guy looked like Stevie J. He did facial, his face was fixed like he was doing some of the faces Stevie J be making. You understand? So now, the kid could have been drunk, kid could have been high. He was like, yo, Puff could have been like, yo, you talking about, this is somebody you admire? Look what he doing. This Stevie J right here. Now, in that kid's mind, he may have thought that was Stevie J, or he think that's Stevie J. If Puff told him that was Stevie J, it was Stevie J. So people can't say, oh, he lying and everything like that, because we really don't know what was said, but the kid said he told him, this is somebody I admire. This is somebody you got high aspirations for, that you want to be like. Look and see what he doing. This is what you should be doing too. Wow, that was crazy.
And you knew Stevie J, right?
I knew Stevie J real well, bro. I knew Stevie J when he was with Bad Boy, one of the hitmen. When him and Puff fell out, I used to take Stevie J around and everything, bodyguard him in certain places and everything. Stevie J was one of those dudes. He was a good brother, but he always wanted to be seen.
You thought the tea was hot, girl. Before Usher just increased the intensity to sear our mellow vocals, the Ah and B King didn't only end his quiet, crushed it like a haunted house mirror. And believe me when I say that what came out of his lips had everyone's jaws dropping. Okay, so what precisely said Usher? It's not only about what he said, it's also about how. It's you know how, he said. Usher generally manages to maintain composure, but this time he was dishing up some really scorching honesty with a side of I don't care anymore. Usher said bluntly, I've been silent for too long, chill. I'm not sure what else might establish the tone, but it essentially tells us that he's been holding his tongue, and that suddenly the gates open, darling, and then he unleashes this bomb based on everything I've seen and understood. People need to know the truth now. Give it a moment to sink in. Usher isn't teasing us with any cryptic clues or help him, boo, but now is where it gets serious. He's coming with the complete truth and nothing but the truth, so don't tell him half-truths. Succulent Usher begins by discussing the negative aspects of the business and how he has been a part of it for a long time. You may be asking why I gasped when I told you, girl, that he wasn't just leaking tea. Rather, he was emptying the whole dang teapot. What changed, honey, and why is Usher deciding to come up now? That's the million-dollar question that some people are stating that some believe ushers have finally had enough of keeping up with Diddy's new accusations. Secrets, but allow me to share with you what I believe Usher has been seeing. Individuals leaving the drama as it has been unfolding, and accurate with their tales. And maybe he's feeling a bit bad about keeping silent for all these years. You know how sometimes you have to tell your truth, regardless of how late it is or how it sounds when Usher says it. Like he has receipts, he's not simply making wild claims, rather, he's discussing things he has personally seen. That kind of tea, if you get what I mean, is unkable. But here's the really big deal. Usher is not only speaking. Regarding Diddy, he's criticizing the whole business, stating that too many people have been harmed and that it's time for an accounting. Child, if that's not a cry to arms, I don't know what is. Will more people come? What will happen next? Moving ahead now that Usher has broken the quiet, or is this just the start of extensive damage control from Diddy's camp? One thing is for certain, this isn't over yet. The streets are humming and phones are ringing nonstop. Hook, and you may bite the bottom of the money that attorneys earn over time. Usher's disclosures have changed this. Everything is flipped. It's as if he hit the wall of silence in the music business with a wrecking ball, honey. We're all waiting to see what will remain standing after the dust settles now that it has begun to settle.
How you feel, and I hate to ask you about this, but you see it on social media, so I want to get your opinion. How you feel about the people that say that, what she going through right now is karma?
So let me ask you a question like this. Is she the first gossip column? Nah. She was just doing she had an avenue and she had a lane that was done better than anybody who did it before. That came before her.
But I'm talking about her, coming at people, beefing with people, spreading rumors that wasn't true. One, for example, her saying that Tupac got raped in prison. He did an interview complaining about what she said and how, it was a lie. So, stuff like that,
It was a lot of people that was doing that before. It was, people was exposing that way before then. What about James Brown? They talk about James Brown beating his wife. They talking about Marvin Gaye being strung out on cocaine way before Wendy Williams. They had gossip column, they had shit like that, but she just perfected it and she was great at it. And she came and she brought it to the forefront of television. You understand what I'm saying? It's no different. It's just the way she did it made it seem like it may have been salacious or something like that. It wasn't. It was just her doing it her way. I don't blame her for what she did. I don't think it's nothing different from a lot of these people who come on here who claim like they journalists. She went to school. You understand? A lot of people claim to be journalists like you, myself. We all come on here, but who has an education in journalism? Who has an education in broadcasting? Who has an education in communication that they could come and develop a program and stuff like that? You don't have to have that anymore. You got people coming on here and they talking they doing their thing. You understand? But there's none other like Wendy Williams, man. None other like her.
I was looking at an interview from Jaguar, right? And I want to get your opinion on it. She told a story about how she knows a lawyer that walked in on Christopher Williams giving Diddy fellatio for a demo deal. You know anything about that? You heard about that?
Bruh, I don't know how true that is. I've heard that but I know Christopher Williams. And I know Christopher Williams was a crazy, gangster-ass nigga from Mount Vernon. From up in that area, Westchester. He didn't play that shit. He kept that 3.2 or that 38 on him, and he will shoot the shit out you. You understand? He was rough with his hands with the women. And the story went on and said that a lawyer walked in the office. When she walked in the office, She walked right out and she said it was a dude, and she said it was Christopher Williams. It was one other brother, I forgot his name, that worked with Bad Boy. Him and Christopher Williams could have been brothers. And if anybody was doing that, it would have been him, not Christopher Williams. Do you understand that? Him and Christopher Williams could have been brothers. That's how close, that's how they had the same look, light skin, the little low on the side, curly hair and stuff like that. I would never believe it was Christopher Williams. You understand? But that other cat, yeah. You got to realize, when you walk into something, there's very few people, if they walk into something like that, they're going to stare there and look and just be all into the shit, right? There's very few people going to do that. When you walk in something that's very inappropriate, you're going to back up out, especially women. You understand what I'm saying? So now, if she's seen a glance, she only going to see a glance. Now, if somebody who looks like Christopher Williams, maybe. But then you got to look at it like this. Was she in the office all the time? I don't remember us having a lawyer in the office like that. Or she was just coming by that particular time, I don't know. I don't know the situation. I want to stay off that, but I know from knowing Christopher Williams, having an altercation with him before, and knowing people that know him, he's some old crazy gangster shit. And why would he, Puff? Nah, bro. Puff wasn't that damn big back then.
Keefy D, what you think about that situation, yo? What's going on with that?
Well, I spoke to Keefy D's son, and Keefy D's son said that he was all right, he was fine. He never got beat up in jail. All that was bullshit. He in jail with family and friends, and he's doing good. They just trying to get this money up so he can come home.
I don't think you're going to get the money, bro. Who's going to put the money up for that, yo?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Do you still feel the same? You think he's still going to win it?
I know he's going to win it. I know he's going to win it. You got to realize he got a trial by judge. The judge has to follow the letter of the law. There's only circumstantial evidence and hearsay on a murder case.
You thought that the drama in Shell was done, but it's just getting started, girl. The business is being rocked by Usher's bombshell, and everyone is asking what's going on. Diddy's empire is about to collapse, and people are complaining that his phone has been ringing off. The hook where they slit your eyes quicker than you can say, bad boy for life. But for a scorching moment, let's speak about Usher. One day, you'll know how it is. Some people are calling him brave, while others are saying he's simply trying to remain relevant. You deserve to be a hero. Next, your news of the past, but this tea is for you. It seems like Usher just altered the rules. We're talking about a whole new wave of celebrities speaking out. It's no longer just about Diddy and Usher. Beyond that, the days of being silent and playing it safe are rapidly coming to an end as we see the whole celebrity society change. Nice, they may be done with you, honey, but believe me, more tea is on the way. Who will reveal it next?